and ethical code of America has been ruined by a lack of responsibility by the people who have the power in this country, the politicians, the rich, the authority. This is too much to comprehend, to imagine, to understand. How could all these problems be happening in our country to the poor and the hard-working people? It's not like it was impossible or too hard to figure out for the ruling class to follow up on doing things fair and right. No, not too hard. Although many people say it's too hard, the fact is they never were a good team. You know, teamwork, although they seemed to be very good together, there was so much unlike each other in many ways that they never made a universal moral and ethical code for all of them to agree on and use in their everyday routines. Think about it. How many ways did they make mistakes with each other needlessly at our expense? This is a rottenly run country. Because of all the authorities' mistakes that they did, do, and didn't stop, we're all pissed off, to say the least, and we're losing big time. But are the ruling class losing like us basic Americans, hardworking and poor? No. The ruling class is insane. They've evolved like the Nazi Germany Gestapo, for instance, for the poor and the hardworking people. Every day is a living hell of a dark cloud over their heads, a dark cloud of injustice and high prices, pollution and war. The authorities in this and every country should be ashamed of themselves for making such a fucking mess out of this country, while prospering and making millions of people's lives miserable in this polluted, injustice, warmonger, hate-ridden poverty hell built by our governments and authority instead of the people being happy and thriving and free. We need to organize and document all injustice in the wise, common-sense, moral, and ethical way us poor and hardworking, positive-minded people think, the way we all should think, and push it in the face and minds of the brainwashed, Nazi-like government and authority that has abused us all, and embarrass and shock them with the truth and complicated reasoning why they run things like shit. And not only should we demand protesters be put on television big time, and that the talk show host and other guests be respectfully interactive, and let these people give the country and the world a retroactive education that has been denied for so long. Because everybody knows the protesters were forced and manipulated off the television shows by the government and certain authorities so they could get away with all their evil injustices and try to brainwash the majority of people watching TV by only having on the corrupt and fanatical Nazi-like traditionalists running and ruining this country. And millions of us won't put up with it anymore, and never really did. And also with our showing and teaching them about all their own injustices, the authorities' injustices and abuse and disrespectful un-American theories and attitudes, we must tell them that we want to dismantle this chaos so nobody gets hurt anymore, and including forgiving them if they change and prove that they are worthy of their positions. And if they don't change and apologize, then we will discipline them severely, lock them up in mental institutions or prisons for being the totally cruel and unfair manipulators of our country and system, ruining and torturing the good people, millions of them, and basically ruining their lives. Oh, and there's so much proof. But it's not told on TV. A lot of people don't know it. But we could forgive all of you injusticers because you brainwashed each other into it all and didn't really mean to injustice us, but to ignore us for so many years and keep injusticing? Well, we just can't permit any more of your authoritative insanity and cruelty, and we will win and find ways of locking you all up. And our documentation of all the moral and ethical reasoning behind our calling your so-called professional routines and procedures evil will totally prove the ruling class is going wrong, is pretty much evil, and in many ways insane and stupid. The end. Peace.